Hey, what's going on, guys? We've had a cold spell here in Nebraska where it's been like minus 20 degrees or so. So it's finally time to get the cars washed, specifically my 328 wagon. It's pretty filthy right now, so I'm excited to get it finally washed. In my opinion, the ideal car wash solution would be something that you can just spray on and hose off, and it'll get most, if not all, of the dirt off of your vehicle. So I haven't quite found that yet, but I'm hoping that I have found it now. So I'm finally going to do a full test of this Salts Gone solution. So I like it because it's apparently pH neutral and it's safe on wax and ceramic coating. So this is important for me because I just ceramic coated the vehicle back in November. So if you checked out my video from last week where I did my initial test of the Salts Gone solution on my girlfriend's car, you saw that it did an okay job, but it still left behind quite a bit of residue and dirt on the car. So that could be due to the lack of pressure coming from my Ryobi portable power washer, or it could be due to the fact that Salts Gone doesn't work very well. Hopefully it at least does what it says and it neutralizes the salt to some degree, but in terms of actually cleaning your vehicle, I really don't think that it does a fantastic job. I have no doubt that there's still going to be some grime and residual dirt left on the vehicle. So I'm hoping that my second solution will take care of that issue. So I'll be using this Ammo NYC Frothy anti-salt solution. I started using this stuff last year, and this works really well. Seems to do a pretty good job at getting most, if not all, of the dirt off your car, but I think it kind of depends on how soiled and how dirty the car really is. It does a pretty good job at getting, pretty dirty cars cleaned without having to touch a towel to it. But my car's pretty dirty, and it's, the salt has been sitting for a while since it's been so cold here in Nebraska. So I'm not going to get my hopes up. I do feel like there's still going to be quite a bit of dirt left on the car after I hose it down, but we'll see. So I'm going to be using the Salts Gone solution in my battery operated garden sprayer. I mixed about 1.5 to 2 gallons in there, and since my garden sprayer has a long extended wand, it's going to be helpful to get under the vehicle and into all the nooks and crannies. So I have my Ammo NYC Frothy solution already mixed in my Ammo NYC aerator, so should be ready to go. Anyways, enough talking, let's head to the car wash bay. So as you can see, the car is filthy. It's got tons of salt and grime on it. Predominantly the back hatch, but like I said, the car is filthy. So definitely needs a wash. I washed it just last week, but once everything started warming up and melting, it just, obviously gets everywhere. Okay, so first I'm gonna start off with my Salts Gone solution. So I have all of my Salts Gone solution in a battery operated garden sprayer. I thought it would be a good thing to try and use to spray the Salts Gone solution, since the wand makes it easier to get underneath the vehicle. So if you saw my last video, again it uses a 1:100 dilution ratio, so it's about 1.28 fluid ounces per gallon. So I went ahead and mixed up 2 gallons of solution prior to driving out to the car wash bay. So once everything was all mixed up, I started spraying, getting into all the nooks and crannies. Once I sprayed down the entire vehicle, including the underside, I was able to start washing it off, and from afar, and while the car's still wet, it looks like it's getting all the dirt off. So as soon as I got done spraying off the Salts Gone solution, I went ahead and grabbed my pre-mixed aerator containing Ammo NYC Frothy. I'm using the anti-salt version. I focus heavily on trying to get Frothy into all of the door jambs. It's easy to forget those areas, and a lot of times they'll get missed at the car wash. So once I laid down all the Ammo Frothy, I went ahead and sprayed things down. I really like the Ammo Frothy. I think it's a really good product, and it does a really good job cleaning, somewhat soiled cars. The only problem is it's expensive, and you go through quite a bit. One bottle of Ammo Frothy is good for 8 car washes. So it goes by pretty quick. Normally I do 2 soakings of Ammo Frothy, but since I sprayed so much in the door jambs, I kind of started to run out at the end, so I only got one good heavy coat. Along with Frothy being expensive, the aerator, it's tough to squeeze that underneath the vehicle and into the wheel wells and stuff. I'm hoping that the Salts Gone solution works really well. I'm going to continue to use it since it's ultimately cheap to use in a garden sprayer. Okay, so it might be kind of hard to see, but there's definitely some residue left on the car that the Frothy and the power washer just didn't get. It's honestly quite bad. Even with the combination of Salts Gone, didn't really do much. So I'm gonna have to use some more Frothy and take a towel to it. Look how bad it is. So, to me, I've tried a lot of different things, including using Optimum No Rinse, and it works really well. It works extremely well, but the biggest issue is that you gotta carry a couple buckets of water around, which, whether it's from your house or you're at a car wash bay, whatever, it's still a good amount of effort, and especially when it's cold, you still have to dunk your hands in some hopefully warm water, but sometimes it's cold by the time you get it, so it's still kind of a pain. And I think my biggest issue with Optimum No Rinse is that you still have a ton of dirt in all the nooks and crannies of the car, and especially the underside of the car. Like, no matter what, you should probably still go to a power wash bay and spray off your car, because there's no way that Optimum No Rinse is going to get in between every nook and cranny. There's no way you can rinse all of the salt off the car using just Optimum No Rinse. So, like I said, I think this system is not necessarily the best, but it's definitely a quick and easy way to wash your car when it's cold outside. The Frothy does a very good job of getting dirt and residue off of your car without having to, take a towel or a sponge to it. Now, I will say that it's not perfect. If your car is, somewhat dirty, it'll get most of the dirt off without having to take a towel or a sponge to it. But if your car is caked in salt and brine, no amount of pressure washing and, soakings in Frothy or even the Salts Gone is going to help get rid of that residue. So depending on how dirty and soiled your car is, you might still have to take a towel to it. My car, I just got it back from the power wash bay, and it's still pretty dirty. I think it got a good bit of salt off of the car. It definitely did a decent job of cleaning the car, but I'm still gonna have to go back over it with another coat of Frothy and take a towel to it and try to get that caked on dirt off, because it's, like I said, that the pressure washer is just not powerful enough to get rid of that caked on dirt. In my opinion, the ultimate system would be something that you can spray onto your car and then wash it off, and it's going to get all of the dirt off without you ever having to touch a towel or having to touch a sponge. You know, if your car's just kind of dirty, like especially during the summer or whatever, I think the Frothy will do a very good job at getting rid of most, if not all, of that dirt with just soaking it in the Frothy and then power washing it. But you know, especially in the winter and all that stuff is just caked on there, I don't think there's anything that exists that's going to be able to, you know, completely clean your car hands-free. I've only just started using the Salts Gone, and to be honest, it's not great. I think it does an okay job. If it actually neutralizes the salt, then I think it's worth using. However, if you're expecting that Salts Gone stuff to just, you know, completely remove all the salt and dirt from your car, it's not going to do the trick. I think the Frothy is better at removing dirt, but like I said, still doesn't do a perfect job. I think it's marketed to be a sort of like end-all be-all winter washing solution where, like I said, you could just spray it on and then rinse it off and you've got a perfectly clean car. But unfortunately, you know, there's nothing out there that exists that can remove all the road grime and whatnot hands-free with just spraying water at it. You know, you're always going to have to take a towel or a sponge to it. But yeah, just my 2 cents. I think the best part about Salts Gone is that it's cheap, and then, you know, you can buy a gallon of it, and, you know, it only takes a little bit to fill a couple of gallons, so it's like a very nice product to be able to use in a garden sprayer like I did, which is helpful to get into all the nooks and crannies and in the underside of the car. If I had to pick one, I'd probably just stick with the Ammo NYC Frothy solution. But since I have a gallon, I'm going to continue using both while I can until I run out of it. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully this was informative for you guys. Peace out.